ධම්මෝ හවේ රක්කති ධම්ම
සියලු ශක්තිය ධෛර්යය ලැබෙන්න. So I hope all of you will get the strength and will to remove all kind of obstacles and distractions. I wish you get that strength from the Master. You have been very fortunate to have some idea of this particular Master from your birth. It's a very, even when we are very small, when we feel frightened, our parents used to tell, chant Itipiso Gatha. So this is the greatest mantra or chanting or a name you can think if any fear comes, whether there's any bully or any kind of thing you have to face, it has a great force. As a forest monk, sometimes facing the bear or facing an elephant, I have not chanted that, but I have known from other monks that when you chant that, that's the most powerful, you could say, sound that can emanate. Why? Because the master, why is he become a master? Because he has no anger, no greed. No greed, especially no attachments. Okay? And no anger. And no ego. So such a being is fearless. We get fear, why? Because we have attachments, a lot of attachments. We fear to lose those things, right? We fear to lose those things. So that's why we have that excitement when something is faced. So if you think of somebody, Buddha has not, the Master does not have those things, then he's fearless. So if you think of someone fearless, you can get that energy. Okay? If you think of somebody who gets frightful, you can't expect that effect to happen. So I'm glad, I'm sorry for being late. Okay, being extremely late. So it's like a mix of the kids and, but I hope you get these vibrations at least, these energetic vibrations. It's not easy for me to come, tell you honestly. It's not just my speech. There's certain energy that I bring, that I practice in Himalayas in those times from a certain period. So it's a kind of, I try to give that healing certain thing, but I get sick after that. This is the real story. So they also don't know I do some rituals and come, otherwise I'm not fresh. Even today in the evening, afternoon, I have this kind of retreat going on. So always when I meet people, I don't sort of reserve anything. I don't think of my protection. I just wholeheartedly give my treasures, whatever I have. Somebody told me, Bante, every healer, even my own teacher, his teacher, when they used to do the healing, they keep something for them and they do like that. But you just give, yes, I'm just like connected to the cosmos. They look after me. They like to look after me. So I hope this, because I am very concerned, anyone who I meet, I wish I could give them the best support. And I know especially for these programs who have come in Sri Lanka, there are some boys, some children, who have been very obedient and they have been going on the, interested in the spiritual things. But at your age, very young age, I was very naughty. I was not a person who, I respected the monks, but I had that, my mother used to notice that if a monk walks far away, I would just leave my play and go and worship. I didn't know why, but I was super naughty. I was more interested in the you could say, the play. So it was even my mother's all this chanting, telling the chanting and all that. It was very boring for me. Okay, so I want you all, in fact, for you all also to get this particular energy and this strength, hopefully when we finish this program. And as I said that, it's not easy for me to come like this. So I don't know how many, all the children are all mixed now. There's some in the back. Okay, so one boy, in fact, he came, his father was telling, he was so upset that he was very well and he became disobedient later. Now he's going very late, he keeps awake and everything. And he came from one of these programs in Sri Lanka. We have it at Ramakrishna in Colombo. After the program, he said, Bante, father said, Bante, he's back again on track. He listens to me and everything. And he has taken this record we are now put just now. We had to, I think, find it 2-3 times to get it. And then he keeps on listening to that. Yes. It takes away all that negativity. It activates a positive plane. Okay? So, but I have to go and do it for you all. You must learn to do it on your own. If you play games, video games, killing, stealing, it all depends on parents also. Okay? And if you keep on, if anything negative, you do it within yourself, negative things come to you. Okay? So when that comes to you, you're also not under your control. It's something else that controls you. All right? So I know one girl, very special girl. She was going to this international school in Sri Lanka. It's called the British school. So in fact, they can't afford very well, but the parents were very keen to even borrowing money to send this girl to the school. And when she went there, they didn't know. They were from very backward family, but they was too ambitious. So they didn't know in those schools, not only the good English and maybe good education also you get, but you have the other side of the Western culture. I was brought up in Southern Africa, Lesotho, in the international schools there. And when I was there, I know very well, from the age of 13, 14, 15, terrible. And there was drugs and other things, even things to do with the opposite sex. But I was never interested in drugs or anything. But the opposite sex, definitely, with you could say the adolescent, this thing. But there was something protecting me. That means I had some shyness. I would have been the first person to go to the discos, Friday discos in the college, in the university, in the high school. But to ask my father the money for the ticket, knowing my father will wonder what I'll be up to, I was shy to do that. That protected me. If I did those things what those other kids did, I think, I would have been now in a very different place. Not a better place, definitely a down place. Okay? So there, what happened to me while I was doing like that, I found I developed a certain character. Even in sports, I used to exceed all these African boys. and even the other, the thing, because that willpower was strong. So much energy was there with me. Even the javelin and all that, they used to ask, what do you eat? Because that, like even cricket, fast bowling, we had one player from Australia, I remember. Actually, he was also a fast bowler. So that tremendous energy. So as an adolescent, I was channeling it too. Also, I was thinking what's the meaning of life, and not only life, I was trying to find a complete understanding of some kind of complete knowledge. So school was really boring for me. At one point when I get to know, after I got to know what they want to teach me, I felt it was not enough. So there were some good lecturers, teachers, who understood that, and I never forget one teacher. He was like a soul connection, I would say. He understood. He wrote in my when I was leaving the school, Shanaka is searching for a stimulus and a fulfillment beyond what we English call school. He was very correct. And so I got interested in physics and science and things like that. And from that only I came to physics to metaphysics, I would call it. It was some destiny, and I think it's the best luck I had. A certain regarding the delusionary nature of this world, that everything was just transient and illusionary. There was no particular reality to what we are experiencing. So they were the fundamental teachings of the ancient masters, which I didn't know at that time. But it gave me the idea of monk also, renunciate. It came to my mind's eye that I should be like this. I don't know who these monks are. And then when I came to Sri Lanka, I met my teacher, a German monk and ascetic. So he gave me all the resources. And when I went through the old texts, as a young boy at the age of 18, I was finding it was tallying with those experiences. So before that, I was protected, I would say, because of the shyness, one thing. And I never forget, one of these girls even approached me. They were unable to face me face to face because I had that, you could say, intimidating intensity, even that time. So I didn't. Now I can understand how it was. So they approached from other people and asked, doesn't Shanaka like to enjoy life? I never forget. It just came to my mind, until I know the world, I will not play with it. So I had in my mind, I didn't know all these words, Arahant and all these enlightened people. But in my inner mind, I had an idea that there is a perfect state. One day I will get to know. So until then, I will not just do things and regret later. So it was very right, I felt, which I did that time. So anyway, age of 18, I came like that. As I said, I'm not interested in drugs or anything. But other aspect, I had tremendous burning this thing, but then contained that energy. And but until I had this experience at the age of 18, that this was like transient and illusionary, my emotions were very unstable. I could get into fits of anger. So luckily I had to control myself. If I don't control, I would kill that person. So it was with the close people. So finally, like my father or anybody, like people like that, and then finally at the age of 18, all changed the other way around. Other way, I became so peaceful and settled. So I heard while I was coming that in this class, in the schools you're facing, I know this one child I was talking about who was sent to this international school in Sri Lanka. This girl, actually, when she was even born, I was there, just as she was born. She was a very special baby. In fact, I think destined for great things. But people who are destined for great things only face a lot of temptations, and the devil try to, catch them beforehand. So she had to, later on, I knew she was going to have a difficult time, a certain period of her life, like age of 13, 12, 13. So it did come up. At the age of 13, suddenly their parents, they want her to meet me. So what happened, she has gone to one of these, what they call the sleepovers. So they got to the sleepover and topple over. I would say now. Because, so these parents also, they thought of in a very different way. They had very wrong values, unfortunately. They forgot the Sri Lankan culture. They forgot the protective Buddhist culture. All that, and maybe want to make the person, they had no idea what will happen. And anyway, when one of those visits, she actually experienced something, I think, with a certain bad people. And then after that, it triggered a kind of a life in her. She was constantly in her room and everything, her behavior was different. So she came, the grandma actually made her to come to me. And when she came, the grandma from the side asked, in Sinhalese language, "Have you taken a bath?" And she said, "Yes, Sacha," and then she came. I was wondering why she asked, "Did you take a bath?" Anyway, she told everything what happened to her. Like from that particular age, after those incidents, she told what happened exactly, that she got so addicted to the phone, the father's phone, and she happened to see things which were not supposed to be seen. Okay, you can guess. So I see even games and everything. I know I'm like, if I come, it will be like little terrible for all of you. Okay. So the games and everything, and there are other things she has been looking at. And she used to be long time in the toilet looking at this thing. And 2 months back, from her body, a smell of the poo smell, poo smell? Feces? Poo, right? Poo smell was coming from her body. So that's the reason the grandma asked, "Have you taken a bath?" So I can understand why, because you send those negative energies from you, negative dimensions get open, which you don't see. Okay? Though I have told about in the previous programs, how they come and they actually live on poo. So you get the poo smell. So if you have tremendous greed or hate emotions activated in your mind, then you attract those similar beings. Okay? I mean, even for anyone who is more... So she told me like that. So I can understand that. So one thing I see in the modern times, you have to be very careful with, is the devices. It increases because it's actually psychological damage that's happening. Normally, we know any kind of device, any kind of technology has a danger aspect of it. Okay? So you just think of the vehicle, for example. A vehicle, what is the age limit to drive the vehicle? In Australia, I don't know. 16. Okay, are you waiting to be 16 to drive? Okay, 16. I think that is too low. At least 18. Okay? I remember an incident that happened to me in, where was it? In Southern Africa, when I was a young kid, like 14, 15. So we went on a holiday to one of our father's friends in Durban, near the beach. So when we were there, are you all from South Africa? No. Are you? Where? Which part? Durban? Oh, really? Okay. So it was like Phoenix or somewhere. My parents' friends were Phoenix. I think Phoenix or Sundown, like this, It's a nice feeling you get there when from Lesotho, Lesotho, right? Lesotho. Swaziland and Lesotho. Okay? So we used to go for holidays there. Are you really from South Africa or are you? Sorry? You are originally. Okay. So what are you doing here? Very similar here, right? There and here. Okay, right. Oh, very interesting. So it's very similar. Barbecue, cricket. So you can imagine what kind of life, it's in those kind of solitude. I had some perceptions at age of 18. But I used to be very dreamy and very thinking a lot, about, I was not very happy with. So anyway, with this, my father's friend and one of his children, I got messed up with my English, because I've been speaking Sinhalese. These Sinhalese people, they have made me. So those days it was very difficult for me to speak in Sri Lankan language. So today is okay, I'm polishing my English again. Okay. So anyway, I want to give you this message, that's I'm thinking in terms of giving this message to everybody. So just imagine a vehicle, this is 18 years, 16 years, there's a time, okay? So this boy, when he went there, he's my father's friend's son. He took me out in his, I was 14, maybe 13, 14 like that, in a Volkswagen or a vehicle. And he started racing like nothing. I was just thinking, small narrow lanes and all that, maybe to show me off, or I don't show off or whatever. But really I thought whether I will survive, whether I will come back alive. And I thought, I don't want to die with this idiot. So I was brave myself, but this guy, really speeding around here and there. And finally we came. So after 6 months, after 1 year, we went again for a holiday to see he has broken all his teeth. Fracture here, fracture there. And it just happened while he was driving, going in the vehicle. And then one of his friends who was beside him has died, passed away. So these damages you can see outside, remember that. But with technology like the phone, the damages happen psychologically. All right? Psychologically it happens. So there's a recent, very much study told, like there's kind of a, I would say, a mental disease you get. It's called ADH. AD? What does it stand for? No. Attention deficiency. What is the other one? That's something very frightening. Sorry? Hyperactive disorder. Okay. So that's good that they have found out like that, so people can recognize this. So this is, you must know about it. And I got to know while I was coming in the vehicle, like the YouTube and all these particular apps are made, TikTok especially. Knowing the attention span of a child, okay? Knowing the attention span of a child, like so many seconds or so many this thing. So they, what they do is, so they make sure that, to that attention span, they make that. So what happens, your attention span, as you look at that, it starts to decrease further. So in fact, your, dopamine level is so much secreted. So you need more. It's like a downhill, this thing you're going. You're not coming up. And suddenly you get these disorders. Disorder means you can see in the person's behavior. Okay? And diseases that mental diseases, that parents can't understand what it is. Okay, so it happens at a psychological level. So I think this is very important that, really one has to be careful. I mean, if I don't address this, I think I'm not touching the modern day time, what is happening. So it has to be regulated. I think parents have to be very monitoring and given the screen time and everything, certain time, at least limit, with their supervision, at least until the age of 18. If they don't do that, you find even the girls or boys, after the age of 13, 14, even if you keep them in a room, this will be a way to just contact anything. Those days we used to laugh, some parents, chaperoning their daughter. There was actually, when you playing cricket in Sri Lanka, not in Lesotho, even softball cricket, we used to see one of the neighbors, the daughter, quite looking big Akki, being chaperoned by the mother, the father. It looked old-fashioned, but they were really right. If a girl goes astray, that's the worst thing that can happen. So at least after doing your duty, if something happens, it's that their karma. It is that their destiny. That doesn't matter. But as an elder, you have a duty to do that. You don't feel, your conscience don't feel upset about it. So you can't do that. Just imagine you have such a device where you can communicate to any part of the world. You see, and what type of people come into this screen. And you just, I know this gentleman was telling me while I was going that a lot of issues are being faced. One is from drugs, especially, what is this, hashish, ganja, no? Yeah, ganja, that's available. So the children must be well born to detect and to see, to say no and to come out of it. They must be well educated, I would say. Sometimes we are shy and fearful to say it to the children, I know, but at least they should, if they are exposed to religious things. I mean, I know today the religious, this thing is also, people don't feel like a liking for the normal traditional this thing. So I found that in, what is this place, Berwick Temple in Melbourne, they have made a group of young people getting together, not going to the temple. They have made something called Dasaparami. It's a good organized actually. Dasaparami, and what in their program, they serve the homeless. They go and feed the homeless, and they have some activities like that. And they have something called Dhamma research, which I am giving. So they have got it from last time my meeting. That's good young people. And they are doing that Dhamma research. It's another group with coordinators. They are making that happen. And then they have this social activity, giving something, seeing the stuff. And there are a lot of good people. They don't want to go to the normal temple. They don't want to do they are fed up with that. They're angry with the parents, why they are going so much to these temples and all that. Those children are coming, okay? Because they can relate to that. And they are accumulating good karma, so they are creating a buffer. Starting from giving, seeing the suffering, I mean, they're sure there are homeless here, okay? So I hope you get this, I'm sure, this gathering, I hope it will propel a kind of, I think good organizers are there. And that they could, I don't have ADH problem, hopefully, okay? So I can focus on what I'm, I know. So luckily I don't use this, devices and things like that. Just focus on the thing that you are, dealing with. So this is very important, I think. And if they have a religious, religious means it should be made. Now I actually touched the original teachings of the Buddha, okay? These are actually universal. They are nothing to do with chantings and this and that. It is about a human being, what we are made up of, and the kind of a mechanism of our, especially about consciousness I talk about. Because if I had that knowledge when I was searching for the things those days, I would have really got a lot of answers. Nobody explained to me. Because consciousness is, even neuroscientists are trying to find out what it is. You understand? They are still not found because they are trying to associate consciousness with the neurons alone, the physical aspect of our being. That goes beyond the physical aspect. It uses the physical body, but it's not physical. It's like electricity running through the electric wire. Okay? The electric wire is something different to electricity running. Electricity is energy. Okay? Electrical current. All right, we used to start those and get a shock. If it's not energy, we would not feel like that. Okay, same way, consciousness is a kind of life force. So, in the ancient philosophies, they had a good understanding because they had a different way of investigating of life, of what they are experiencing through the senses. They had a kind of a more, like you could say, prayer and sense controls and going within. So now it has become more going outward, okay? So because of the outward way, this knowledge about consciousness is actually like zero knowledge. But in the ancient times, it was well known, consciousness, how it happens, it's separate from the body, and it's something separate from the body. Like that they knew, and they knew how to identify consciousness. Okay, I will give you some time for questions. I try to interact like that, but I will explain as I came to this topic. So, in the modern times, I know Deepak Chopra. I was told not to tell his name again by some of this thing. He is the only one in the Western thing that they explains about consciousness. Okay, from the old this thing, because he's now caught up with this, what do you call that, Epstein files. If you're not familiar, it's okay. All right. So with that, so now he has, I think, bad karma these days. So, but I'm not cared. Like he has the one who has explained something about consciousness to the Western world. All right. So I can just slowly explain to you. like consciousness is something, it is, say you become unconscious. How to understand consciousness is, picture yourself when you're unconscious. If someone hits you and you became unconscious, then how do you know a person gets consciousness? He's become conscious. He begin to feel. Okay? You also know you're becoming conscious, you begin to feel. And what you feel, you perceive. And the way you perceive, you react. These are the factors of consciousness. You feel, perceive and react. Okay? If you perceive it as pleasant, you react with greed. If you perceive it as uncomfortable or painful, you react with hate. And if you perceive it neutral, and if you're not enlightened, you react with delusion, we call it. Okay? This is what we normally say karma. So if you, I don't want you to believe these things, but if you want to get some idea of karma, it's a good book, is Edgar Cayce, Many Mansions. These are very good literature. If anyone who is like a dreamy mind like me want to know the universe, you want to know the life, maybe this will be very good background reading. Edgar Cayce, Many Mansions. He used to go into an unconscious state. He was called the miracle man of Virginia. He used to go into an unconscious state and he used to sort of tell the reason for someone's suffering. People living in New York or Manhattan and here and there, they are living their normal lives. And why they are going through certain sufferings, difficulties, he gives the cause relating to previous life, karma. What they did to others, how it's coming back to them as a retribution. So this is something, someone who is really not familiar with that, it will be a good way to get a world picture, how we can understand that, why people are rich, poor, and, good looking, bad looking, and why these differences in the world, even in the human world. Okay? So these things you can know. I don't tell you should believe because somebody says. You could try to, get some idea from things that you can relate to and understand that. So that is a nice one. So it was known, according to karma only, you get the type of consciousness. Because you have to be conscious to experience pain and pleasure. Remember that. So now, if you're unconscious, can you experience anything like that? You don't get those feelings as pain and pleasure. So you have to be conscious. Then only you get a feeling. So normally, the type of feeling you are given to others, you will be getting it. Okay, that law is very complicated how it operates, but it has its own real justice. All right, like last month, because I'm in a little bit expert on this subject. Last month I was in India. I was traveling. I am busy with programs in Sri Lanka and other parts of the world. So when I had little time, I used to go to India. India is my only place where I could, but I'll be still doing my work. That means I'll be gathering some energies, some things to serve. I have only got used to that kind of thing. So there is a gentleman who is like one of my close attendants for many years, nearly 15 years I would say. So in southern part of India, he's the one who looks after me. So last month, 8, 9, 10, all right, these days, this message was sent. Now I have a other side of me, like I have some communication with some of the seers. In India you have something called rishis or seers. Seers are ones who have developed level of samadhi, concentration, where they have opened up the third eye. Okay? The third eye means you see things behind you, which is not your molecules or something like that, but it sees your like karma. Or even it can know your personal details or something like that, which is not seen from the normal eye. So normally they have that knowledge of like we are all bundles of karma. Okay? And sometimes the nature comes us to see whether we pass those, like it's like a lesson, nature or life comes as a lesson. So it sees how you react back now. If you don't react, normally how to stop the karma, remove the karma is to not to react at all. So that's where the meditation part and training of the mind comes. If you don't do that, you just impulsively react again and again. You could see in your relationships also. If you are like 40, 50, 70, if you can be little looking back, if you look, you can know, like say this is your third marriage, you can know. They told me, Bante, the second wife also same Bante, fat and, very angry. So he couldn't notice, he can't notice the same karmic pattern working. So the best thing is, another one very recently, she had some communication with me. She's for the Chinese devotee. So she said, Bhante, she met her old boyfriend. And she said, Bhante, I'm so fed up with this particular boyfriend. They're not getting married, in this part of the world also. So they are called leftovers actually, after 40. You must be knowing about it. In China, So anyway, so what happened, it's not a nice word, right? Okay. So anyway, so she was telling me, Bhante, really sad. Bhante, I am very upset, Bhante. This boyfriend I met now, we had a relationship again. And what do I see with her? She's now having multiple partners. And you know something? I saw her the same. She would flirt with every boy. I would not say even every animal, I would say. She was having that kind of nature. I noticed her, but she had devotion in Buddhagaya. I hope she not listen to this. Anyway, she might get the answer by this. So in Buddhagaya, she was there doing a lot of good things. I see these are fallen monks in the past. So they are getting a chance to recover again. This is how I see. They have been very spiritual, extremely spiritual, and extremely they are having that distract nature. So if they now correct that, realize that, and treat that partner nicely, and forgive, and don't do the same mistake. So they have to get their strength from the master connecting to them, so that they can discipline themselves, and when they don't behave the same way, they are going to finish that karma. So what happened to me, it was like last month. This was 8, 9, 10, these 3 days. I got a message from this one of the, you could say, seers, or they are also masters in their different way, that I will be cheated by someone close to me during those days, 8, 9, I think 7, 8, 9. Okay, last month. This is now still, which month? April, right? So it was January, March. Okay, March. So the message came after that date passed. All right? Actually, it did happen. So that's why I want to tell. It's interesting. The person who looks after me when I come to South India, so good heart and really, very noble person. He's having problems financially, no doubt. He's a very poor person. Suddenly he got the thought to take some money, like he's the one who pays the money for the, say, the hotels or guest house, because the places I go, sometimes I don't want to reveal my identity. The reason is some danger is there for the monks. So, or the country we are coming from, Sri Lanka. So what he does is he does the registration and makes arrangement for me, and then I go. So what happened, I have been very busy the whole day. That day I was feeling some gut feeling, something which I never do. I went directly to the reception and inquired, asked how much for the room. So it's a very small amount, nothing big thing, but still that action. So it's like 2,000 rupees, he has told me the price for the room, but it was like 1,000 rupees, okay, Indian rupees. It's nothing, really nothing. But anyway, such a person being so loyal to me and so, really like a son, for me, I consider him like a son, and doing a lot of work for me actually, protecting me and all that. And he didn't have a good sleep that night. And I did. Now, when you know like that, what is the best thing to do? That this is the interaction of karma. And what the seers have told, what they told was, you will be cheated by someone close to you during these 3 days, because the cheating you have done in the previous life to somebody, that karma is coming to you in these 3 days. That was the message. So it happened after. So exactly, it's very interesting. I mean, I'm not lying about it, okay, making about these things, all right? So these are, for me, just recently what happened. So what happened, I did feel something uneasy, like somebody, really making me like a fool and something, but luckily, but I wish I reacted much better, tell you honestly. I don't think I reacted the best way. If you know like that, what is the best way to react? Not to react at all. But can you do that? What we normally in offices, in working place, with family, with cheatings happening with your own partners and this and that. And if you know this, you'll react better. So this knowledge, this wisdom, but it should not be in a theory form, because this is a part of knowledge about life. Everything happen in a harmonious way. Nothing, what you are supposed to experience, you experience. So this way, actually, I'm not very happy the way I reacted. But of course, next day, it was all okay. I did this thing. But if I got that message even before, I would have maybe better. Of course, when I'm in cool mind, I can explain to like a child, you must be careful not to do like anything like that. But if with some little even, you could say ego or, negative emotion, best thing is you should never be in that area. Okay? So now I want to explain that. Those 3 days, if I was unconscious, what happened? Can I go through, experience that? You can't experience. So in consciousness, how consciousness happens is related with karma is a very interesting thing. This was already known in the olden times, by the seers. So I have another explanation. I don't want to go into that. Maybe the little big or who are big or little, they think they might appreciate or they'll be very interested about it. But I like to get some questions from you all before I would explain that further a little bit. I normally do it in every program, and how liberation takes place and all that I normally explain. Because my actual, this thing is I'm going towards liberation. So whoever I'm meeting, actually I can give you only that high this thing. When people tell me I have kids and I want to give them, okay, I can do some in this thing, but hopefully make them virtuous and so on. But I have one specific message only. How to start your meditation, daily meditation. How to do things without feeling tired. And like that, to go in a direction where you are purifying, you're having more another higher type of life. Higher type of life means with peace. Okay? So with that peacefulness, how you're going to spend your time. And then how that peace can lead you to self-realization. Okay? I might touch all that. But anyone, would you like to ask something? Especially because this mix, the first hour or so for the kids, right? It was there and I got late. Because this time, being a kid will pass very fast. I know you want to really super anxious to become adults, all right? I don't know whether they had a question, any questions asked. I hope the parents could arrange some kind of like a group and then this serving the homeless, see the suffering, and that one day maybe spend some kind of spiritual activity. And yeah, anyone wants to ask anything? Like to ask anything, you maybe can ask from Bante. Yesterday they asked me, I was walking, the young boy, very young, very small, wanted to ask, what is this dress? He was an Australian, I think. Never seen a monk. So you were not there. I think I was with the other monk. So I also suddenly taken surprise. No, the mother asked actually, she wants to ask something. And I said, yeah, okay, what is it? Said he wants to ask, what is that dress you're wearing? So I was also taken suddenly by surprise, tell you honestly. I just want to make him excited. He was wearing a t-shirt with, Spider-Man. So now suddenly came to my mind, I said, we are on a mission. We are on a special mission. But I couldn't explain further, because, really we are on a mission. And we are called, actually, we could call us peace soldiers. You like to be a soldier? Who like to be a soldier? Who like to be a commando, I was so keen to be a commando. At your age, they made me, camouflage, army kit and all that. When I was like 5, 6, 5, 4, all guns and everything I got. No one want to be a soldier? Good. What do you want to be then? All the small ones can come here? I can't see. What do you like to be when you grow up? Yes? You don't know? So you want to be, I don't know, is it? Okay, good. Good to keep things open. Not yet, huh? What about you? Huh? You also don't know yet, okay. What about behind the curtain? Sorry? Scientist? Oh, you got that idea already, good. I had it later. What about you? You're still keeping things open? Okay, what about you? A doctor? All right. And what about the next one? It's like a gang or something. Same row? Yours? Okay, so the I don't know row, is it? What about you? A dentist? Okay, that's nice. I don't know is the best, but okay, dentist is okay. What about the other one? You're not okay. What about? Huh?
Marine biologist.
Oh, that's interesting. How did you get the first thought of it? You can put the mic. You know, I am getting old now. Like glasses?
I like swimming.
Swimming, okay. Oh, marine biologist, huh? Okay. So you'll be studying whales and things like that? Okay, okay. That's nice. That's good. Okay. So anyway, I wish you what you want to be. You will become very successful in that. And I don't know, I hope they'll become super successful. Okay. It's good to have an idea, some idea to feel, to pursue. But you will be successful in anything. One very important thing is make sure your parents are never disturbed. You know, you feel that they are like the only closest people who have that most sincere feeling towards you. Okay? So, for example, you know, like you should never try to be disobedient to them. You be disobedient to them, I don't think anyone will become anything. They will really become nothing. Okay, whatever they do, they will be are not successful. So, but if your parents tell you, say for example, you know, like you are, some aunt is coming to your home, okay? Your mother doesn't want to meet that aunt. And she rings the bell and your mother tells you, go son, tell her I am not here. What will you do? Huh? What have you done up till now? What will you do? You will say? Okay. How many of you will say the mom is not here? What your mom says to you to do, tell you will do like that. How many of you? Be careful. How many of you will say, oh my God, this is a lie? Do you think it's a lie or a truth? What do you think? What do you think it is? What do you think? It is a lie or it's a lie, right? So I don't like even some organizers, they feel, oh, it's nicely going. No, it should be shaken. It should be, and more, the way that it's publicized is very important. Other channels and so on, and young people especially, they should get that. And they could be, you know, they can be doing some great things in the future. Theruvan Sannai. All blessings. I will give you some energy, okay? Take this, try to not to talk. My South African friends went, what happened to them? Maybe they didn't know that the whole program end I give something, all right. Something mystical you will not get normally. Sometimes it's difficult for me, it breaks my nerves and you know, it's like tough. People don't know, they think it's just some preaching, some energy body, you know, energy things. So this, it will help you all definitely. Try not to talk tonight if you want to keep that more. And tomorrow morning you can talk. All right? Keep that energy. If you talk, this is like from the ancient, you know, the yogis who have accumulated that energy, that's coming to you. So it will give you a push for your inner journey. All right? So if you talk, it will just go away from you. Nothing will happen more. But if you keep all night it will bless you. Okay? So take some food, that's okay. But try to remain silent. And go to bed now. It's not very, it's quite late. And tomorrow morning you can talk. All right? And I wish you good luck, all of you here. Especially I can see very promising everywhere for them to come like this. And especially, I don't know what group, they will do something very special, I believe. Okay? So I'm very glad that, the parents they brought, and it was well organized to bring like this, because it's very, I hope the younger ones from 14, 15, that they will do something special. Be an example, be a strong example to everybody, and make your, destiny successful. And I wish you that will happen. All right? So some of the things about mindfulness, I hope you can try it out. And you will get, and morning to, even while you're going in the vehicle, you can do this compassion meditation. It will be like a weapon. Okay? These things I practice, I don't know, you don't know, I was in the LTT area, Sri Lankan terrorists. As a young monk, I was cutting across the area. And everybody, what was the, any weapon I had? No weapon. It was this compassion meditation, okay? Visualizing them and really sincerely wishing them the truth and peace. Of course, I didn't even expect any protection. I was really doing it. I feel their state of life out of real compassion to them, okay? So I hope you can use them practically and mindfulness and get this wisdom. Read those books that are related to that and see how you can control your emotions of desires, anger, all that. They will diminish automatically. Knowledge, light. Knowledge is like a light. Okay? In knowledge, light, darkness can't stay. Simply if you do those things, you will be automatically a changed person. And you will look more beautiful, nice, charming, powerful. That strength will come from you. Okay? Otherwise, you'll be very timid. There's a soft power, I call it. You must activate that soft power. So that can happen. Not this violent, aggressive, no. This peace, purity is more powerful than aggression and everything. This is how I felt with all guns and snipers. They are waiting in the battlefield. I could see they come in a rough way, but they suddenly, this gets overpowered if you can keep it going. I have a lot of stories that happen that, even dogs coming barking, animals coming running. If you just remain, keep yourself, this thing, that is infectious, that peace. Okay. So I wish you all good luck and success, Adelaide especially. I hope that they will continue, they will try to do something, some good organizers if they are there. And they also have to be, and with kindness, with detachment, and not forcing anyone also, that's very important. It's very important to just, who are really, feel interested, try it out and see. And I hope wisely they could do it to the new generation, when they see the old traditional this thing, they have created already a barrier within them. They don't like their parents going to all these things. It looks like really a fanatical thing. And so I can see that has happened, so that's a sad thing. So if you create a different thing where they can relate, they can see the social service, social things, other, that they can understand, and that is already the Buddha's way, okay, without putting any culture or tradition to it. That can open up to general anyone who have some compassion, feel the suffering of others around you. And then they can do those practices for 5-10 minutes, half an hour, metta bhavana, after serving people who are suffering physically, externally. Okay, that can be done 1 hour, then this can be done 1 hour. Then they can train something with the wisdom, like that. And already something very big has achieved. Okay, you have given them some tools and support in this very materialistic world. All right, giving some riches from the inner world. Theruwan saranai, sopat vettwa, dukin midettwa, nivan suwa labatwa. Perapim matu vettwa. All these good karma. Think of your parents, relations, and there are hardly any being who has not been your relation, from the lowest to the highest verse. they get a share of this good karma and come out of all suffering to highest peace, liberation in this life. And especially think of, the 32 realms of all those beings, crores of devatas in other planes, and all the seen and unseen noble beings in this planet and the other worlds. Protect these noble teachings out of compassion of the Master, where he has tremendous compassion. Think of it when he was reborn, when he entered the mother's womb. It is said that the hells, the fire in the hells, and the people who were blind, who were deaf, for a moment they were hearing, they were seeing. So they were overcoming those sins for a small moment. You can imagine the intensity, the intention and the intensity of the Master when he was entering the mother's womb. He's not enlightened yet, but he was bringing all that force. Recall all those things. And I have told some things. If you have some problems, how to find solutions. I can't tell now, it will be too late. It's like how to use the Bodhi tree and how to use the Buddha statue beside you. Okay, or just recalling how during tsunami and even during Ditwa, recently the natural disaster, that how all these things have been destroyed, but the Buddha statue is just remaining. Okay, so you can imagine, you might think it could be one place, two places. No, several places, so many places. So you must know there's an invisible, mystical force that is there, even nature, this thing. If you just think the statue is just statue like cement and all that, it will become like that. You create from your consciousness, how you are conscious of it. So if you infuse into consciousness faith is one way. It's like a passport visa for the inner journey. Not necessarily fully blind. It should be, supported by some factual observations, so that you can actually build up that. And when you do that, you will suddenly come to know certain things, and you will start to get certain blessings. I am telling this especially for people have sometimes unsolvable problems. Even procrastination, like tomorrow. And even trying to control the phone and anything, or cancer, or any unsolvable problem which doctors don't know. I have told this how to do it with the Buddha statue. Every time when you get up in the morning, recall those incidences where it was protected and offer just some water and communicate, talk. Just place your problem to the Master. Though he is no more, his compassion, purity is still emanating. Okay? It's like I tell, if your parent pass away, I hope not, if they have one of them, you'll keep a picture and you have a feeling that they're protecting. How do you get that feeling? Because they're sincere, this thing towards you. Okay? So that same way, just imagine the masters, how they must be having. Alright? So it is there because it is for the modern times. Because you have sometimes very unsolvable, gross difficulties. So to overcome that, this is like a small, you could say, small help, small prop for you to, like a bulldozer, I say, clearing your way. Okay, in the morning, at least 21 days, try to do it. Until your problem is solved, do it. Alright. So in the Bodhi tree, I also said, if you can find that's more effective, more powerful, early mornings, how to do and all that. Other than that, start the daily meditation. Okay, daily. Try to do things without getting tired. Remove any type of addiction for 3 days, 1 week, like that. And start to go that inner journey. That means experiencing peacefulness. You can just sit down without anything, be happy. Rather than something you need to make you happy. Okay? Definitely try to transform to that. Then you are a very strong mind, you are a healthy mind, and you are coming out of all these mental diseases. Alright? So wish you good luck. You will look vibrant, blessing, and you don't have to tell anyone what you're doing. People will notice that. You will look very different from others. And that itself, you are a blessing to others. Okay? So all this good karma, think of all living beings. From the lowest, even animals, other creatures get a human birth and go on this path. And other unseen beings who even don't have a name, stuck everywhere from the lowest, may they get a human birth. And the higher realms, every living being come out of any kind of transient, unstable state of existence and come to final liberation, peace, happiness for all times. May the Devatas give all protection and the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, their blessings come to all of you. Suvapattitva, dukhim midetva, nivan sualapat, sansara perapina matvetva, dharme shaktiya, dharme pale, aduak natuva sila dinata labetva. So if they are interested, my type of meditation, it is I actually tell how to meditate separately and read in the books. I couldn't do much here. This time I didn't tell about my main message. It is how to, that in the original master's books, the words, there are visions. Now they are only doing it like a study. It's not study. It is actually a meditation objects. Okay, so I am giving it, it's like a small revolution because most of them don't know the mystical nature of the original words. So they create visions. So I would suggest to get some of those books, keep beside your bed even. Okay, not someone explaining the teaching. The original translation. So one of it is the word of the Buddha by Gnanaloka Thero. And the other ones later you can find. But there are those exercises of where I told you about the 4 elements and like that. So if you really practice those things, it will help you to get real wisdom. Okay? Real wisdom you will have to get. ඒක තේරුණාද? කවුරුත් අහලා තියෙනවද හාමුදුරු කියන දේවල්? YouTube එක ගත්තාම මේ පළවෙනි පාද හම්බෙන්නේ. Who are first time meeting me today? First time? Okay. Okay. It's all right. And maybe it will be the last time, I hope not. Okay. So anyway, try to get the original words of the master, all right? Not anyone writing about it. It looks little dry and very this thing, but it has those profound wisdom. They get revealed when you have a peaceful mind, when your mind is bright. So when you read, now I heard one of the girls told me in Berwick that I am reading the 4th time. So I asked, why do you read the 4th time? Then she said, I'm understanding it more better. It's correct. She's got the right idea. Because if you read after 1 week, 2 weeks, then the meaning becomes more meaning. That means your third eye is working more. And there is a point where you will understand it, it will give you a shock. Okay, I'm not telling this with experience as a young boy for a long time in the forest, in the solitude. There are visions, clarity that will come that will give you a sudden shock. So but by slowly becoming clear, gradually it gives you that vision. So these words have visions. If they got a vision from those words, they will never leave or try to understand it from another explanation. Because the experience cannot never be put for language. Remember that. This is beyond language it goes. It's infinite experience. Okay? So the pointers to experience that is only the discourse. Master gives a pointer. So when you meditate, it just gives you that deep experience. Okay? So I hope you'll get this point meeting me. Otherwise, I'm not coming to life coach. I'm giving you some very specific things about how actually I'm like an old monk coming now. Now I'm getting old also. I'm not young anymore. But anyway, with my teachers, because this is not touched normally by modern time, It's not touched. If you really want to get the authentic, this way to really do it, take it as just one lifetime. Don't lose it. All right? This will help you practically to know the secret of life and also to know so I suggest Word of the Buddha, Buddhist publication they have, and also Bhikkhu Bodhi is a good translator of the old text. But at least I have told you all how you will, I'm conducting the retreat, which is really to give it more in detail and like a kind of how to experience it. So anyway, I wish you good luck. All blessings to all of you. All strength. Dharme shaktiya balya aduak natuva labetva. සංසාරේ පෙරපින මතුවෙන්න මේ උතුම් උතුම් අඩවියෙත් ඒ ශක්තිය ලැබෙන්න සියලු මනුෂ්‍යයන්ට, all human beings, not only this country, this state, not only all who are these people here living, also other countries, human beings. And people are facing economical, you could say, insecurity also, with wars going on, about to go on. This time very necessary to send out unconditional, compassionate, divine energy to the air, recalling the masters, their qualities. Try to imbibe that tremendous purity, strength within you. It will be a blessing to the peace of the state, country, family, state, country, and the entire planet. Every nation, every human being. Mahasage Detis Mahapusha Rakshane. Gurudevan Mahasage Mahasanya Kailasana Sakala Vishwa Shakti Subhadita Iman Surabhadra. All blessings to you. රටේ සියලු මනුෂ්‍යයන්ට, ජාතින්ට, ලෝකෙ පුරාම මනුෂ්‍යයන්ට රැකවරණයක් සිද්ධ වෙත්වා. ඒ උතුම් ධර්මදීපේ දහම් ශක්තිය මතුවෙන් ලෝපාදාත There was sunlight. All blessings to all of you.
Tantesha sabhava tutte shaya mangalani Jantoka hatiti pusha kena sutata hantang Kamang visuddhi chutti